Hello everybody, welcome back to the OsO Valley update number 24. If you watched my last video, you know I spoke about the Blue Mountain, also known as a dog's dinner, and the difficulties I had there. And one of the things that became apparent to me is that I've made my layout too deep. Now, when I designed my layout, I kind of knew I was doing it. I read up a lot of information, watched a lot of videos, read a lot of articles about layout and how you design it. And some of you more seasoned veterans will know that you'll take one look at the work I've done and you'll see some fairly fundamental beginner's mistakes, and that's fine. I don't mind. That's how you learn, isn't it? So, but I quite like the fundamental design of my layout. It works for me. So, but I think what I'd like to do is to reduce the depth of my layout. So, for example, from that back end to the front there, that's 1 meter or 39 inches. And that's fine. And I can just about reach, but I have to lean over because if you look down there, I'm semi-crushing the layout already. And that's not ideal. And when I stand at this corner and I want to reach in and touch something, I can just about reach that furthest track at the back. And that's not ideal. So I think what I'm going to do is this front section here, pretty much completely redesign it in terms of how it's laid out. All the tracks to the front I'm going to keep, more or less. I'm going to do away with these particular sections here because I don't like that. It looks great on a new millennia metro station. Doesn't look great on a 1950s style passenger station. So the idea is I'm literally just going to cut that in half lengthways. Okay, and there's 2 sections there. So instead of going all the way around the back, that track will curve around to there, and it will line up with this. So all of this and this and this will get a little bit compacted in, and it'll come a little bit further this way. And that will leave room for the furthest track of the back to go all the way along. It sounds like it'll be very cluttered, and it will, but I'll do it in such a way that the return track, or the track that goes at the very, very back, you probably won't see most of it. It'll be hidden behind either buildings or scenery or both. Okay. The other thing is I'm going to do the same here. This is a meter from there to there, and I'm going to knock this back to the 50-inch mark, which is, the 50-centimeter mark, which is where this is. Okay, my top deck, that is all 50 centimeters. Okay, then you have the angled section, and then that's 50 centimeters as well, from front to back. So I know it'll work. I know it'll give me plenty of space. I think the NMRA standard is 4 inches, which is just about 60 centimeters, so it is a little bit narrower. And I may make it 60 centimeters because if you remember, I spoke about the foam I can now purchase. I just need to decide which type, so I may use the foam to make that 60 centimeters. I don't know, we'll see. But that's the gist of it. So basically, all of that back, that whole sort of light colored section at the back will be gone, because it is a fair amount of wasted space. It's not easy to get to, it's not easy to work on. If I have any derailments, I can't get to it. It's a real, well, I can get to it, but it's a real pain in the backside to get to it. So I'm just going to change this at the front. Now, to add to that, I'm also going to add some length to the layout, and I'll just pan back here. So sorry about the shaky camera. So from that corner, the back, all the way to that corner, that is 4 meters or 13 feet. Now, bear with me. This whole layout is modular. It's in 4 sections. So imagine if that whole layout was aspect that way. So that section there would actually be along that back wall. And of course, it's going to be thinner. And I'm also going to do the same with the end sections. Okay, this one is angled, of course, so I'll have to angle it. But I'm going to take material off of these. So I've done my measurements, and essentially, if I remove all of that rubbish over there. Okay. What that means is, and that rubbish there as well, what that means is that whole layout will be on the back wall and sort of coming out this way and then along. So that section will be sort of coming out there. So, and of course, this section's 4 meters and this section is 3 meters. So it's going to give me more space back there to put all that junk. And I call it junk because most of it's junk because they don't use it. So that's anyway, that's where pack rats. Anyway, that's the plan. It will alter the fundamental design of layout a little bit, but not massively. I mean, this is more or less going to remain the same. I may or may not keep the yard there, but certainly that loop is going to be there. I'll be able to keep my 2 reversing loops. Okay. I'll be able to keep this yard, of course. And so where that finishes there, for example, I'm going to have another, was it it's going to make it another 1.8 to 1.9 meters longer, or in total, instead of being 13 feet, it'll be 19 feet. If that makes any sense. I'm going to keep all this, I'm going to keep all that, and it's just going to make it 100 times easier because the lower section will be about the same depth as the top section, which means instead of, if you look, I'm standing here right against the layout, that section is 1/2 meter away, which means I have to extend my arm to get to it. Whereas if I can stand as close to that as possible, that means I can easily get to everything on the top. I can relatively easily work on scenery, there, everything. The whole thing's going to be much better. And actually, the inside of my garage is going to be just a whole lot better because it's just going to get rid of the rubbish, you know. And a lot of that stuff I'll be able to store under the bench work, and the layout that from there to there up to that back wall is just going to be completely free. So a lot of that shelving, you know, I can put over there, and it's just going to be a lot better. So the wife will freak out, of course, but that's what they do. They freak out at everything, right? Anyway, that's it. Thanks for bearing with me on my explanation. I have drawn some plans because I use Rail Modeler Pro, which is for the Mac. It's not on that Mac, it's on my Mac, in my laptop Mac. Yeah, I've already done some preliminary investigation, and it's just going to make a heck of a difference. If you look at the shape of this top section where I've cut an angle, I should be cutting the same angle there and then along. So looking at it on a plan, it actually gives me plenty of space. And to be honest, I'm not really sure why I didn't do that in the first place. I guess it was just a bit too enthusiastic. So, but that means, you know, all that top section stays the same. That stays the same because I like my bridge. That stays the same. And of course it gives me, it adds another 1.9 meters to the top deck as well. So that's the good stuff. And the good thing is I'm not going to have to buy any more wood, I think, because if I was to take this and cut it in half, I'll have 50 centimeters there and 50 centimeters there by 2 meters. So I have plenty of wood there to join these two in half and to join that section. So I can't show you because I've got to hold the camera, but those two sections will basically be split like that, and a 1.9 meter section will be put in between them, and same for the top deck as well. That'll be split, and a 1.9 meter section. So to give you an idea what 1.9 meters is, it's from there to about there to the 9. So it's going to give me all that extra space again. So it's going to be a much more linear layout, much easier to work on, and just 100 times better, I think. And of course, I'm not getting any younger. Once I was finished doing that mountain, my back was absolutely killing me. So, you know, and I'm only getting older, and I'm only going to get older as this layout gets older. So I don't really want to be stretching myself so much in the coming years ahead. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Thanks for those to keep subscribing. That's pretty amazing. I just make this stuff to share with other people. I don't make it to get subscribers, but I'm getting subscribers, and that's really cool. It keeps me motivated. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, and the next video will probably be absolute chaos with the layout and pieces and the garage, a bomb site. All right, bye for now.